All right. All right. Ready to start here in just a sec. Welcome back to the program. My guest today spent an incredible 1,467 days in jail, confined, sometimes tortured, sometimes abused by the Biden regime. Thankfully, now that President Trump has been elected, he has been let out of prison. Please welcome Jake Lang to the program. Jake, how are you doing today?
Hey Josh, God bless you. Nice to be on here in sunny Florida, out in the Gulag. Being a January 6th political prisoner was one of the hardest trials of my life, but also, God hides his blessings for us inside some of these times where we're pushed past our human limitations. And so, I've just been extremely blessed to receive the grace of God. I'm a free man.
You are a free man, and many others are free with you. And what an injustice this has been to you and to the rest of the January Sixers. We'll talk more about that here in just a minute. But what was the first thing that you did when you got out that you really missed doing that was the most fun for you?
Well, if you guys had seen this crazy viral video of like the reuniting between me and my fiance and my father, my girl jumps on me, I'm kissing her, and then all of a sudden my dad comes around the corner. I'm like, my father, and I go run over there, and
Like chopped
there's
meat.
yeah, and just embracing my family. I've been pretty busy since then. We were busy in the prison cells as well, working for the organizational movement behind January 6th in order to sustain us financially, legally. We have like these big legal groups of how to fight these legal battles and stuff. So I was busy day in and day out, and then as soon as I came out of prison, just on nose to the grindstone, telling our story from sea to shining sea here. But honestly, the nicest parts about being a free man are the very small things, being able to flush your own toilet with a little toilet handle. In a federal prison, you can only flush it once. You get one flush, and then that's it for 30 minutes and stuff. So just, I mean, just the little small things of freedom, being able to stand inside a shower without having to wear shower shoes because all the fungus and disgusting stuff in the prison. So just in a nice hotel room, walk around barefoot, relaxing, enjoying the presence of those who I love, and really being able to go out and start to advocate for accountability for the people who have perpetrated these crimes, unconstitutional abridgments on the American people. And so, I get so much joy out of advocating and pushing for righteous causes. And so, it's been a great time so far. 3 days almost now.
Do you think that that activism approach that you took when you were incarcerated, do you think that that made you more of a target of these sick and seditious and vicious people?
Undoubtedly, I spent over 900 days in solitary confinement because I was very outspoken. We've
Wow.
done, I formed the Political Prisoner podcast, which I run with the Gateway Pundit, which has millions of views on some of the episodes. Bring on people like General Flynn and Laura Logan, Dinesh D'Souza, and real heavy hitters. And I'm speaking to them from my prison cell, and we're getting out this message against the lies of the January 6th Select Committee, against the lies of mainstream news media. And so they wanted to shut me up because look at what happened. At the end of the day, the grassroots effort, that trench warfare inside this, like your show too, brother, the conservative media, grassroots people that have stood by our side and told our story actually ended up upending the Democrat establishment. We probably flipped just with the Jan Sixer story, maybe 600,000, new voters that saw this atrocity happening. And just as the liberals are so energized for some odd sadistic reason by abortion rights or abortion murders, the conservatives, Christians out there were energized by the Jan Sixers. Like, we got to get to the voting booth and get these guys out. And so us telling our stories was, I think, one of the huge single voter issues that actually I was just on an interview with Jason Whitlock literally
Mhm.
half hour ago, a great friend. And he said he had never voted once in 50 years of his life, but the first time he voted, and this is a big conservative podcaster, the first time he voted was in 2024 for Donald Trump because of the January Sixers.
Exactly. Look, it's a grave injustice to what has happened. I mean, so many things. And that's what I want to ask you about next. What is next, not necessarily just for you, but for all of these political hostages, as President Trump correctly called all of you? I mean, there's got to be some type of compensation moving forward. I mean, I came up with something right off the bat. How about the January 6th Political Prisoner Compensation and Restitution Act? And we can start with every single lawyer, every single prosecutor, every single judge that was involved in these political persecutions of our American citizens, and they could have the revocation of their pensions and their retirements, and they can put it into those funds to start with. And then at least $1 million a day is what I would like to see for each and every one of you. I think it's the sickest, most disgusting thing that the American government has ever done to its own people. And I just hope and pray that you guys do some type of a class action and you make these people pay for what they have done to you.
100%, Josh. Actually, my newly founded organization, the Federal Watchdog, is a anti-lawfare legal group, and we have put together a $50 billion lawsuit, the January 6th restitution and wrongful incarceration lawsuit. Pretty much the same. Great minds think alike there. And we have over 600 plaintiffs currently signed on. I'm courting a couple different, high level attorneys and law groups that are. I mean, 3 weeks ago when I was talking about this, no one wanted to touch it. But now that we're out of prison and it's like the little, Nelson Mandela moment here in America, every lawyer and every single news outlet and everybody wants to be our friend. But where were you guys, when
Exactly.
we were
Where were you for 4 years? Right. Exactly.
100%? Yep. Yep.
No,
So
just be
if
careful who
by
you
the way,
trust. That's all.
amen. Amen. And if your listening audience wants to support that legal effort because it's going to cost a good chunk of change to be able to pay some lawyers for 6 months to a year to really drive this thing home, you're going to have about 3, 4 full-time attorneys going through each Jan Sixer and saying, okay, what happened to you in the first year? Give me the names, the dates, the times, and building
Well,
these
hopefully,
case
is this
files.
something that you might be able to work in concert with Congress now, with the Republicans in Congress? Are you having an ear that anyone wants to hear anything of what's going on? I mean, I know they were talking about redoing the committee and looking into that committee and investigating the investigators and things like that. But what about maybe working somehow with Congress to kind of blow it up a little bit more, and they could do the interviews with all these people and have them come in and do testimony and all that, and then put together maybe like a joint report or something like that, so that they can recommend criminal charges from a point of congressional committee rather than just
I like that idea, and if I
anything I can do to help you, man. I've
no,
got lots of ideas. So
oh, I like that. That's a great idea. We'll pursue that avenue, but as I learned for 4 years and 6 days waiting for Congress to do something,
yeah, that's true too.
there's a lot of talk, but not a lot of traction up there. And so we'll pursue it. I mean, right now we're in the political winds have shifted our way, and I think a lot of those people want to be aligned with us, and so maybe they'll fight for us now. But if we could do that, I mean, I'm going to pursue judicial action no matter what. We're going to file lawsuits, even no matter what, because it's our right to prove what happened to us.
Exactly.
It's not just about Congress coming in and trying to help us get restitution. It's really about punitive damages as well in order to enforce future action, not
It is.
in making sure that this never happens again. You know what I mean?
Absolutely true. And look, how many people on January 6th were charged with US Code 18 2383, which is insurrection? Not one. You know
Zero.
why? Because even Graves and the rest of these idiots that did what they did knew that they couldn't hit the threshold to even hold on to that charge. So again, this whole thing was a Fedsurrection. It was an entrapment. It was, oh my God, they're going to go to the House of Representatives and count the votes. What do we do next? Okay, plan B. Let's have a Fedsurrection. I've said this so many times throughout the last couple of years. The insurrection happened on November 3rd, 2020. The Fedsurrection and cover up happened on January 6th, 2021. And when history is written, all of you are going to be exonerated. And I hope that each and every one of you get completely compensated for the amount of abuse and torture and times of your lives that you lost that you can't get back. And so there has to be some type of restoration and retribution for that. So, Jake, thank you so much for joining me. Where can folks go to help out your cause, but also learn more about the important work that you do?
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate being on here. Your platform is obviously very strong, and we want to make sure that the people who are watching this continue to stay aligned with the Jan Sixers. We have a long road home. Many of the guys have been financially devastated. I mean, their life savings completely wiped out. Greedy lawyers coming in saying $150,000 represents you, and then they mortgage their homes, and then the wives and kids are at home. They can't afford the mortgage. The bank takes the house. We've got homeless Jan Sixers coming out of prison right now. So please, guys, go to j6rebuild.com. That's the letter J, the number 6rebuild.com. j6rebuild.com. You guys head over there, make a donation if God moves your heart to do so. Help us get back up on our feet. We've got guys we're trying to get first month's rent for, new pair of sneakers, some groceries, cell phone, stuff like that. And we appreciate you guys. And if you want to follow me on my X account, it's Jake Lang, J6 as well. JAKELANG, Jake Lang, J6. And we're posting updates. I actually just posted about an hour ago an update. There's about 11 guys still left in prison that the gulags are holding on to. They're not listening to President Trump's executive proclamation in order to free them. So we have their names listed, their photos, where they're located, so you guys can get some civic action in there and call up those facilities and push the agenda. Get these guys free. They fought for this country to defend us from a communist
Absolutely.
coup d'état, and they deserve to be home with their families.
Absolutely. Jake, again, thank you so much for joining me. And it was a pleasure speaking with you, and we'll definitely have you back. All right, buddy. Stay safe, be well, and God
God
bless.
bless. God bless you.
Take care.